Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cantina Social Hour. Hope you are doing well. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Happy, what is it today? August the 18th? I don't know what August the 18th is, but I hope that you're having a great August the 18th. So thank you guys for being here. It's Friday night. We're happy to be here this evening. And I'm especially happy because for the first time ever, making his Cantina Social Hour debut, I got toying around in the house. Toying around. How's it going?
Hey, what's up? Hi, everybody. Nice to be here on a nice Friday night. It's cool. It's cool to be on for like West Coast shows. I have more time to prep and just to relax. So yeah, I'm
Nice.
happy to be here. Talk some toys.
Awesome. Well, we're glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. I think I was on your show, gosh, it's probably been like a year or at least, maybe longer.
Yeah, around there. Yeah, it's been
Yeah, it's and that
yeah,
was a
it's
lot
been
of
a
fun.
oh
Yeah,
nice. That's great.
it was a
Yeah, I
lot of fun.
think
Thanks again for having me on.
yeah, it's been a while, but it's cool we get to do this again now over here.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, so this is your first time on Social Hour. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do over at Toying Around?
Oh my goodness. I do a weekly live stream called Unboxing Thursdays at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. I open toys. I usually have a guest on, such as yourself or other people who've been on who are in the toy community where they work with toys, something cool to do with that. And we just, it's really chill. We just sit there, chat, open up some stuff. We talk to the people in the chat. I do another thing called the Boba Squadron podcast when there's a new Star Wars TV show on. Um, we do breakdowns of the episodes each week, so we're excited for Ahsoka coming up. On the show is myself, my friend Yoko, Ernie, and of course Paul, who plays Carson Tava on the TV shows. So that's a lot of fun, and I just try to make fun videos. Just kind of nerdy, geeky related videos. I post a lot of toy pics and stupid memes on on my Instagram. So just trying to have fun with everything out here and just making videos for people that I think I hope they find entertaining.
It's very entertaining. So I know I can't speak for everybody, of course, but I think that, I love everything that you're doing. The content is great. It's entertaining. It's engaging. And
Thank you
thank you
so
for
much.
doing it because I have a lot of fun watching.
Yeah, I mean, I come up with a lot of stupid ideas, and this is more of an outlet for me, I think. So to just kind of put those ideas into something visible, something that I could put my energy towards, and if someone is even remotely as childish minded like me, hopefully they'll like what's going on, or just at least have fun with the conversation that we're putting out there with people. So thank you for watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's definitely a blast. So I want to take a look and see who is joining us so far. So let's see. We got Paul in the house. Paul, how's it going?
Hey, Paul
Paul,
Morales.
glad that you're here. Paul's a local collector.
Oh yeah, he's
We,
in my
we
streams all the time. That's awesome.
Nice. We got July through November. How's it going? Good to see you. We got Adam in the house. Adam, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us this evening. We got Mary. Hey, Mary, how's it going? We got some topics you might like, Mary. So I'm glad that you're here this evening. Pico B1, how's it going? Good to see you, Pico B1. We're glad that you are joining us this evening. Jason, how's it going? Good to see you, Jason. All right, awesome stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So good little group forming here. Cool. Well, so I guess I want to start off by saying that, yeah, so we have something really weird here. So, I live in San Diego here in SoCal. We're under the very first like tropical storm watch in like almost 100 years.
Oh, right, it's
Um,
coming up through
yeah,
the water, but yeah, I
yeah.
heard my friends talking about it last night.
Yeah. Hurricane Hillary is what it's called. So it's on its way from the south, from Mexico, Baja California, and it's on its way, and it's supposed to hit. We should start seeing rain tomorrow, like late morning, but it's supposed to hit like sometime like late tomorrow night into Sunday morning. So, I grew up on the Gulf Coast, so I mean I've been through a bunch of hurricanes, but I never thought that I would have one coming to me in Southern California. So that's like a whole new thing.
Ooh.
So yeah, everybody's just getting ready for it, like locally. Everybody's just preparing and making sure they have water and food and all that
Mhm.
stuff. Batteries because power probably is going to go out. It's going to be. We're not really set up for hurricanes, earthquakes, sure, but not hurricanes. So it's going to be interesting the next few days to see how things play out. Just
Ooh.
fingers crossed, everything goes all
Good
right.
luck. Good luck. Hope it doesn't do
Thanks.
anything crazy.
Thanks. Yeah, it'll be interesting, but yeah, we will see. We will see what happens. It'll be a first. It'll definitely be an experience. All right. So let's see. Other than that, we got some topics to talk about. We're going to
Yeah.
talk about a little bit of Ahsoka. We're going to talk about some stuff that's been going on with Hot Toys. We're going to talk about see where the Haslab is because last week we looked at the Haslab and saw where it was. So I want to see if it's actually gone up since then. The vintage collection Haslab.
Hmm.
And then yeah, we'll just have a good time. So hope everybody is ready, kicked back, got a nice beverage on hand, and is ready to have a fun time.
I'm drinking coffee. I just
Nice.
realized it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm drinking coffee.
Nice.
Whoops.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
um yeah, so let's talk about Ahsoka. So, this show is starting next week, and it's been a long time coming. I don't even know how many years it is now since it was announced. But there's a lot of people really excited for it. Obviously, we're stoked about it. Have a little companion under my desk.
Cute.
Um, and yeah, so they changed the time, huh? So it was supposed to be the usual Wednesday time, right? But now it's been
Yeah.
changed.
It's a big change. I think it's normally Wednesdays, midnight for you guys on the West Coast. Because I know it for me on the East Coast, 3 a.m. That's forget about it. I'll watch it when I wake up. But now it's airing next Tuesday, 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern, and I believe that's the change for the whole duration of the series. So uh, I mean that's works for me. I get to watch it the night of. Boba Squadron doesn't have to wait like a day or two to talk about it. Like we can talk about it that night, um,
Nice.
and I don't have to be jealous of West Coast people staying up because there's no way I would watch a 3 a.m. show. Uh, but yeah, I mean, what do you think of that change? Does that work for you?
It's cool. Yeah, I was never staying up till midnight to watch. I can't even imagine 3 a.m. But I mean, I get up at 5:30 for work, so
Okay.
I was never staying up till 12 a.m. to watch it. So yeah, this is even better because it's for us, like you said, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. That's awesome. That's about the time that I'm like getting home and you know dinner and all that. So that's like great timing for it. So that's really nice, and it's on Tuesday, so now it's a little bit earlier.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, and from what I've seen online, it seems like the consensus seems to be pretty positive with the time change. So people generally seem to be pretty happy about it. So
It's
good stuff.
the first two episodes are pretty long too, so I think people will be happy for that because like Mando and things like that. Some of them were like 30-minute episodes. Some of them were maybe even less. And I know sometimes people were not happy with that, but the first two for Ahsoka are a little bit longer, so fans will be happy for that. I'm
Yeah,
certain.
I was really happy to see the runtime, um, because like I'm always very like cognizant about that. Like my
Mhm.
spelling is terrible. I apologize, Yoko. Hello.
Yoko,
Um,
Yoko, who's also on Boba Squadron, is in the chat. Hey, Yoko.
my darn autocorrect. Yeah, no, I'm very cognizant of this.
Hmm.
When Mandalorian was coming out, and even before, like because I couldn't watch them till like Wednesday evening. But I would be there, and I would just like try to look. I always wanted to read the description at least. So like the morning, before work, I would like look at the description, look at the runtime, and I'm like, 32 minutes. I don't know. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, seeing the runtimes being what they are, for the at least for these first couple episodes, like I'm good. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, actually, you just reminded me. I did have a routine where I would get up, get the kids ready, and then kind of watch the episode in the morning and have enjoy breakfast. So I won't have that anymore. But were you a huge was Rebels a huge part of Star Wars for you, or where does Rebels rank in your Star Wars the different eras?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's been years now since I watched. I probably should have been rewatching it. I just haven't really had the opportunity to in over these last few months. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was very different. It was very fresh. I didn't like everything it did,
Hmm.
But I liked a lot of what it did, and it was something to be excited about each week because that was the first like brainy animated series we had at the time,
Right.
post Disney. So I liked it a lot. There's some amazing episodes in there, especially
Yeah.
far,
Some of the arcs are amazing.
yeah, especially the further you get into the show, like it's just it got really good. And yeah, so really memorable things. I was even like somebody sent me the clip the other day of like AP5 when he's like floating around in space and singing, and
Hmm.
I hadn't forgotten about it. I just hadn't really thought about it in a while. So just like seeing him floating around and singing, I'm like, Star Wars needs more of this, like more of these moments like that.
Yeah, I've been watching highlight clips on YouTube. Disney, I think XD, the channel has like certain full episodes, or they'll have collections. There's a whole Rebels collection of all of Ahsoka's appearances on Rebels, I believe. It's like a 40-minute video. So I've been trying to go through that, and because there are certain things I'll watch over and over, but a lot of the animation, just because there's so much, um, I might not do that, and so I'll forget things here and there. But like the Mandalore arcs, the finale, all of that stuff is truly beautiful. And if you have time and you're like, I don't know, I don't know about Rebels yet, I don't know about animation, it's for kids. It's like no, and you can enjoy some of this. At least give it a shot before Ahsoka comes out, just because you get a little bit more, and maybe you'll appreciate some Easter eggs and stuff too.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's lots of stuff, lots of great stuff.
definitely. I mean, it really supplements like the live action. Like you're not even with seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi or with seeing stuff from Andor, like just there's just little bits that are name drop that in Clone Wars are pretty relevant, and then when you hear them in the newer live action series, like it's just kind of like, oh, that's cool that they mentioned that place, or that
Hmm.
they're going to that place, or there's some like point a plot point involving it. So I think it's really cool. It does very much enriches the story of Star Wars. So yeah, if anybody hasn't watched any of the animation, then definitely you're missing out. You gotta watch these shows.
I'm pretty lucky because next week is Toronto Fan Expo and Hayden Christensen is here.
Nice.
Matt Lanter, Ashley Eckstein, and James Arnold Taylor, I believe, is Obi-Wan. Like they're all in town.
Oh, cool.
So I'm pretty geeking out right now. Tomorrow there's another convention. Leilani Shu, who plays Tika the Jawa, is here. So I've got this ready to go,
Nice.
and it's a lot of Star Wars goodness in Toronto for the next few weeks convention wise. So it's like the hype of everything and the show coming out. It's at peak levels right now.
Yeah, for sure. It's always a great time when there's a Star Wars series on TV, and there's a brand new Star Wars series that's going to be on TV for the next, couple months. So it's definitely a great time. And, I always love seeing what merchandise they're going to tie in. Like, you know, Hasbro's already announced a few things. But, there's other companies like Hot Toys and Sideshow and Lego have stuff that's unannounced that they said that they're going to be talking about. So,
Hmm.
yeah, so super cool. I'm really excited for it. Is there anything you hope, like really hope happens in the series?
I mean, everyone knows like Thrawn's in it. It's just what happens when they first show him. I'm open to anything. I don't want to be one of those people who are like, "Hey, I want this and this to happen," and I don't know if I'm mature enough to be like, "Oh, that didn't happen, but it was still good," as opposed to, "Oh, what I thought would happen didn't happen, therefore it sucks." So I'm good with whatever it is. Um, if there's Ezra or no Ezra,
Hmm.
it's just good to see the characters that we know, and who knows what they're going to throw in. I'm always trying to just try to be open and absorb whatever comes. What about you?
I'm pretty open. Obviously we know this character isn't around, or at least it seems like she's not around by the time of the sequel. So I always wonder in the back of my mind, like, are
Oh
we gonna
yeah.
see when she's like no longer, like, are we gonna see that moment where she ceases to live as in physical form? But yeah, I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. But I'm thinking about that. Yeah, no, I hope that there's more tie-ins to, and I'm sure there will be, to the rest of like the Mandoverse. Um,
Mhm.
Things that maybe get highlighted or clarified a little bit would be cool. But yeah, no, I'm pretty much just coming without expectations. Really, I've heard good things from those that have seen the first two episodes. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm just really excited to have a new Star Wars show and have something to look forward to every week.
Uh, full disclosure, I did get to see the first 2 episodes.
You were one of those people.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough, and very spoiler free. It's just like there's cool stuff to look for. If you're a fan, you'll spot some stuff, and that's what I know. Like it was a good amount of runtime for like a premiere, uh, and it was just, it's not one of those like, oh my god, it's so short. It's like, no, this was good. It's like, what, we're getting more. It's still playing, so definitely enjoy it.
Nice. Well, that's reassuring. Thank you for sharing that tidbit with us. All right, cool. So I see a few people have joined us over the last little bit. So Kaiju Stop Motions got the Red Rex Kenner for 25 bucks. It's not bad. Hope it's in good condition. That sounds cool. Rick, how's it going? Rare that I make a live show. It says, hi, Kevin. I've
Hey,
been following Ahsoka for 15 years. She's become my favorite character in Star Wars. Can't wait for Tuesday night. Very nice. So we're really glad that you're able to make it this evening, Rick. Thank you for joining us tonight. JJ, how's it going? So Jay knows what's going on from when I was talking about the top of the show with the hurricane and everything. So
oh, okay,
I bet Jay's getting prepared as well. Yeah, no, we're all kind of on the fence, with what's going to happen here. Jazz Ruffin, how's it going? Good to see you
hey, hey,
once again with us this evening. Yoko, thank you for joining us once again. Appreciate you being here with us. And Jason says, send some rain to Texas. It's hot over here. Yes. Yeah, we're definitely going to get a lot of that. We're going to get a lot of wind. We're going to get a lot of, it's going to be a little wild for a little bit. I know it is. It's going to be kind of wild,
yeah.
is what everybody's saying. So,
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
be safe.
new show means like new merch. Um, that that Haslab, I think, the timing. It's, I mean, you cover a lot of Star Wars stuff, and you've seen the Rancor. You're like, I'm sure it's been discussed. Oh, the timing with Book of Boba Fett. Would that have helped it if it was on at the same time? And then now Ahsoka is happening the same time as the Haslab Ghost, and they're all, the characters are connected. Do you think that'll help push the tiers up?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Yeah, I think it's anytime you can tie in something like so ambitious like a HasLab with current media, that's definitely going to give it a boost. We saw it with the Razor Crest. It was, I forgot how many sold. It was like 28,000 or something.
Hmm.
Um, Granted, it was a little less expensive than both the Sail Barge and the Ghost. But
Yes.
yeah, I definitely think that it'll help. It'll highlight it as something from Star Wars. It'll give it more visibility. I hope that they continue to advertise it. I think if they run ads on social media for it, and you know maybe they send like a press release out, just kind of remind people, hey, this is out there. It's got this amount of time left, weeks left, and I think more importantly, it's shown in the show in some uh, pretty cool capacities. I think that'll help a lot.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's great timing. They waited for the right time because they're going to capitalize on that hype, and it's going to help. Will we hit all those tiers though? That I don't know.
I want it for the card back. The art on the card back, they just look so cool. I mean, I don't know how I was so fortunate last year. My friends and I decided to go to Comic Con SDCC and get tickets. And this year, my first time ever going, they announced the HasLab there. They had that giant mural with the Rebels characters on it that you see in the show, and I'm like, this is perfect. It was the perfect timing for all that stuff.
Yeah, that was really cool. That mural was awesome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was super cool. But yeah, let's take a look at the HasLab and see how it's doing. We looked at
Where
it
are we
last week,
at?
and when we last looked at it, it was above 10,000, where I think it had been for just a little bit. As of right now, It is still above 10,000, hasn't quite gone to 11,000. 11,000 is the unlock for Ezra.
Hmm.
So right now it's at 10,646. So it's gone up maybe like 300, I think, since last week. So that's something, but it's obviously not enough to unlock all the tiers, with the short amount of time. I mean, there's still several weeks left, but in terms of this project, I think we're beyond the halfway point now. I think we're like 2/3 of the way through it. So there's only a matter of weeks left, and I think now's game time. As I told people last week, like you're not missing out by not backing it. I know a lot of people were on the fence saying, well, I want to see if all the tiers are unlocked. Well, they're only going to get unlocked if you back it.
Of
People
course.
that say that back it, right? So, and then if you decide to cancel, you can cancel before the campaign ends. If it doesn't hit all those tiers. But that's the only way it's going to get all the unlocks is if everybody backs it, gets to those numbers. And I saw some people saying a couple comments today, like, oh, maybe they should just announce like a surprise thing, like to kind of boost it. It's like, well, they're probably not going to do that if there's still all these tiers that haven't been hit yet. Maybe that's an incentive once you get to the last tier for it to, go over even more. But there's still a lot of work here to be done. And I really do hope, like we were talking about, that Ahsoka gives it that extra boost.
Yeah, hopefully, people see the characters in live action on screen and they're like, "Okay, we need this. We need those unlocks." That I'm sure at some point someone's like, "We got to sync up these projects from now on
Yeah.
and see what we can do."
Yeah, definitely. So I'm glad to see that people are backing it still, but it's not, a lot of work to be done. So, if I always say if you're talking about these online, definitely let your friends know, hey, this is going to end because there's I want to get all those stickers.
Oh,
I
me too.
can't see how this ghost would be complete without Zeb, without Kanan. So back it, like as long as we get that core crew, and then we have Sabine coming, a little bit later this year. I think as long as you have all those unlocked, and that's a really good crew to get together. Even if you can put your Ahsoka in there too, even if she's not wearing the
Yeah.
same exact outfit. But yeah, we really need those figures. So please, please, please back it. Keep going out there, get the ghost. Hashtag get the ghost, and let's make it happen. Let's get all those tier unlocks.
That Kanan looks. I think Kanan is my favorite one of just because with the head swap with the blinded head swap that he has, and you can put the goggles on. Oh, there you go. Perfect. You can show it on there. I think that's the one I'm most excited for. Vintage collection, always gives like a few more accessories than Black Series. Ezra has the Loth Cat. Yeah, these are essential for the ship. Do you have? Let me ask you this though. Do you have space for this right now?
I don't have space for half of the stuff I bought this week. Like I always say, that's a question I ask myself later. That's tomorrow Victoria's problem or next year Victoria's problem.
Yeah.
No, I mean I can't display everything. I tend to rotate things out every, I don't know, 4 to 6 months, and just kind of
Okay.
when I have time to mix up the displays a little bit. But no, yeah, no, it's definitely a big piece of real estate, right? And space is limited in most of our collections. So uh I know that some of my friends that I've spoken with that have like the Millennium Falcon, like they'll use like a guitar stand or a bicycle stand to
Okay.
put that on, and they can display it like on the wall or just kind of in the middle of the room or something like that. So I may do that with when it comes to the Ghost, because that's I think just playing it vertically would be a little bit easier than having this big wide thing like in
Right.
the
Right.
room.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know
Right.
where I would put that, the Ghost.
Years ago, I saw on this Hot Toys forum someone bought this IKEA coffee table for the 1/6 scale Keaton Batmobile. So it's a very kind of basic metal frame with a big glass top, and I ended up finding one on finding a used one, and I had my friend drill some extra holes so I can drop the base of it. And right now I have like a series of Bat Caves and 1/12 scale Batmobiles, but I'm thinking that stuff can go and the ghost will go in there on display. It's pretty nice looking display piece if it weren't for all the garbage that's on top of my coffee table. But that would be my aim at the moment. That's where it's going to dock. in
Yeah.
my toy room here.
Yeah, that'd be a great place to put it. It's definitely going to be a centerpiece, right? Like the Razor Crest or the sail barge. Like it just has that magnetism as a collectible piece. Like it's a
Yeah.
conversation piece. You know, you walk into a room and it stands out.
Hmm.
This is going to be just like that. Um, but yeah, we got to
Stands
figure
out
out where
because
we want to
you
put
like walk into it, it hits you in the head in the doorway. I hope it.
which would happen to me
Yeah,
definitely.
I love the stand for the Razor Crest that puts it on the angle, just gives it a
Yeah,
little more dynamic look when it's there, not just kind of sitting there. Or you can just display it normally with the doors open and make a scene with people, little Jawas and Mando and Grogu on the outside. But
yeah.
yeah, these are perfect, and I think that's why vintage collection is. I'm leaning more towards collecting only that instead of double dipping in both scales with Black Series too.
Yeah, for sure. And that's how I have my Razor Crest just on a shelf, with the landing gear down, have a little scene built out. You'd sit
Yeah,
right there. And I see yours too behind you.
yeah, it's a
Nice.
perfect spot.
So no, but we need these figures again. Like I'm just gonna reiterate, like, I mean, Ezra, like you were saying, Kevin, I mean, he's got the Loth Cat, he's got
Hmm.
the helmet, like he's got the sabers. Like, I mean, even in TVC, they rarely give you both the hilt and unlit and lit
Oh,
lightsabers. So
really?
yeah.
I thought it was pretty common.
Yes, yeah, they're getting a little better about that, but it doesn't always happen. I mean, Zeb, like, I really hope we get to the 17,000 because I mean, this is cool, and getting them on these cards, it's going to be a one time opportunity. If it doesn't happen, never going to happen. So I just hope that we always vintage collection collectors are pretty hardcore, and they're always talking about how Hasbro needs to do more in TVC and
Hmm.
invest more in it. And this is the best opportunity to show that. And yeah, I mean it's going to get funded. Obviously, we're probably going to get Ezra here in the next week or so, I'd imagine. But there's still work to go to get those last figures. And I think if it unlocked all the tiers, then it would really like send a message like, hey, collectors are serious about this type of thing. So here's hoping, fingers crossed. I'm really, 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 really hoping that we get all these figures because I really got to have them.
Can I ask you? Because we're definitely gonna get these. We're gonna, as fans, we're gonna get to all the unlocks. How are you gonna feel when you get them all? And are you gonna open them? Are you gonna keep the card back, or are you gonna wait, keep them minty until maybe sometime down the line the figures come out in like a regular mainline release?
Yeah, I've
Or
thought
that's
about
future
this.
Victoria's problem again.
Yeah, no, it's actually a problem I've been thinking about. And actually, I asked Hasbro about this during the Q&A at SDCC. I was like, hey, um, I'm a carded and a loose collector when it comes to TVC. I don't really do that with any other like line. I don't,
Hmm.
but with TVC, I do. Um, what can I do to get other than ordering two ghosts, which I'm not going to do. Like how can I get another set? Like if they all get unlocked, and it's like, well, you got to buy another ghost.
Yeah, I
And
thought about that
so
too.
I'll tell you what I did with the Razor Crest. So initially I kept the figures carded, and with any of these Haslabs, people go to eBay and they'll list different things that they don't want,
Hmm.
including some of the carded figures, oftentimes. So what I did with the Razor Crest is I held on to both Grogu and the Tusken or the Jawa Elder, and I left them on the card. And then months later, when the prices started to drop on eBay for the figures, I went and bought a set.
Oh, okay.
Um, and so I was able to have a loose and then openers, which I really wanted to have openers because I wanted to be just playing with the Razor Crest. Um, so I think that I'd probably do the same thing this time. And again, I hope they get unlocked because that's going to be the only way to do this. But I think it'd have to be the same thing because I would need to have a set loose and carded because I got to have them in the cockpit, like walking around the ship, this and that. But I also need my carded set because the cards are gorgeous on these. I mean,
Yeah,
they're just like perfect.
yeah.
So it would have to be. I'd have to have both. I would keep them carded initially, and then once I had an opener set, I would open those.
But this isn't one of those ships where you could be like, I'm gonna order a second HasLab, keep the figures, and sell the ship, because who's gonna buy it without the crew, right? The next person that buys just the ship would want the whole crew to go with it. So it's this conundrum that we're stuck in. July through November in the chat has an awesome idea. Says, I wish there's an option to buy a bagged set of figures. Like if I'm checking out, just add an extra like you're going through a Kickstarter or something,
Yeah.
and you're going through the backer kit. Do you want to buy a second set of the figures without card for like, I don't know, what is it, 3 extra ones, $50-$60 US? Heck yeah, you already have the molds for it. You're just pumping out a little more plastic. You don't even have to package it. I'll buy an extra set. I would
Yeah.
absolutely do that.
100%, maybe even 2 extra sets I would get,
Oh,
because
there you go.
then I start thinking about, well, maybe there's another, like, diorama I wanna set up on the shelf with these figures. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'd love that. That would be the ideal, to have, like, another option, like, to add on, and they could do it because, this is a crowd fund, like, they're only gonna make, the amount that we order ultimately, right?
Mhm.
So they could do that if they tacked on an extra order for figures, then okay, now we need to ask our manufacturer to pump out another set of figures. So I mean, it's totally doable. Um, yeah, I don't really get why they don't do that. I mean, other than them maybe just wanting to maximize how much they can sell, this whole product, for,
Oh, yeah.
as one thing, one unit. But yeah, I would totally do that. I would love for them to do that. But yeah, that's a
That would be
good idea. July through November.
we're thinking smart here, but there's probably some reason for it that's more complicated than how
Yeah,
how we're
yeah.
simplifying it right now.
Of course, they always have their reasons. Um, yeah, so I'm excited. Yeah, get the Ghost, you guys. We only have a few weeks left. Make them count. Let's get all these figures unlocked, and then let's have some fun toy videos to film
Ooh.
sometime. This time next year. That would be awesome.
Mhm.
So let's see who else is with us. So Silver K, how is it going? Thank you for joining us
Kayla.
this evening. And I love your background there of Hobbiton in New Zealand. I got to visit that there in 2018. It was
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Dun, dun, dun. Fantmatic, how's it going? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us once again. Limited edition, majority of backers for these Haslab campaigns back within the first 3 days and the last 3 days. Yeah, there is precedent for that. We saw that especially with the sail barge. It looked like it wasn't going to fund. Then at the end, like there was just this huge rush of people that got the FOMO, and they were like, I got to order this thing. Pico B1 saying, I will leave them on card until they make more, and if they don't, then I will open them. Okay, well that's a plan, because once you open them, they're open, right? You can never go back. You can
That is
never go back.
correct. That is correct.
Yeah. Planet Mars, good to see you. Good to see you again. You were here last week hanging out with us. Good to see you again. Glad that you backed the Ghost on day one. Very
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Doing your part. We appreciate it very much. Okay, so what 2018? Nice. I was there in March is when I was there. It was in March. It was right before you were there. That's awesome.
Is
That's
there anything else to do other than obviously seeing these places in person is really cool, but like what else is there to do? I'm curious.
in New Zealand.
Yeah, like that's in that area.
I'll tell you, New Zealand is one of the coolest places I've ever been to. Like the people were incredible. They were just so nice, so helpful, so laid back. Like the vibe there was just, you know, like take your time, go at your own pace, don't
Mhm.
worry. It was really cool. It was kind of like Hawaii. Like the vibe was kind of like that. Like everybody was just really chill and really, really welcoming. Um, the country itself is beautiful. Like there's two islands. There's a North Island, there's a South Island. We spent the first half on the North Island, and Hobbiton's really cool. It's like a few hours outside of Auckland. So we went there. Auckland was a neat town, very international, all kinds of, restaurants and people, a really cool place. We went to Wellington, which is the capital, and that was a really neat place, very artistic place. There was a lot of neat things there.
Okay.
And then the South Island was like especially gorgeous. Like they have, we went to something called Milford Sound, and it's like kind of like those fjords you see, like when you see like videos of like Norway or Sweden, that kind of thing. So it was really cool mountains, beautiful like lakes. Like I don't know if you ever seen, Kevin, like that Gatorade. It's called Glacier Freeze. It's like a blue color.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. A lot of the names sound the same.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, so it's like that. It's like a like the lakes. They were just like this pure like
Oh, wow.
blue color, like nothing I'd ever seen before. Yeah, it was an awesome place, and Kayla saying that similar things there as well. The glowworms, yeah, the glowworms was another thing that we did there, and that's pretty cool because you go into this cave and like there's these like glowing. It looks like it's like stars, right? But they're worms that are glowing
Oh,
in there. So
sounds lovely and horrifying at the same time.
yeah, it's actually really cool. Like they don't fall on you or anything, and they're like way up in the ceiling. So like you just kind of like go by in a boat and you're just like looking up at them.
That's awesome. All right, good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's a similar experience then. Yeah. So covered the same areas. Nice. Yeah, I loved Queenstown. It was amazing. I want to go back there again. I'm going this year. Going back to Japan. I was in Japan a few years ago.
Oh, when are you
Going
going?
back there next month. But
Nice.
yeah, I definitely want to hit up New Zealand again because it was amazing. Alamir, how's it going? Did someone say glowworms? Yes, we love glowworms, I guess.
That's what brings the views in, glowworms.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely feels like you're on another planet for sure. All right, all right. So that's the Haslab. There's a couple other things I want to touch on this week. So one of the really big things this week, Kevin, and we were talking a little bit about this before the show, was that Hot Toys announced a few weeks back that they were going to have these new artisan editions, is what they're calling them, of some of their figures.
Okay.
And this is a brand new like thing that they've never done. Like they have their toys, which are their Hot Toys, which are generally amazing, right? But this is like a step up from their main line. It's kind of like a special like edition of their main line. And I think part of what happened and why they're doing this is there's another company called InArt that they have the license to do Warner Brothers like DC figures
Right.
outside of the U.S. And they're what they do with their figures is seems to be like they seem to be outdoing Hot Toys in some ways. But they can't sell them in the U.S. because Hot Toys has the U.S. covered in terms of licensing and all that. But InArt's really been stepping it up with like the quality of what this sort of a 1/6 scale figure could be, like how awesome it could be. And Hot Toys is kind of taking a page out of their book by doing what they're doing with some of their figures. So what that means is that the clothing they have is more of a premium quality. They have rooted hair instead of sculpted hair. And Hot Toys has done that with a few of their figures. I have like a Wonder Woman that has the rooted hair, but like I guess it's made out of wool. It's like what the newer artisan figures have. I don't know how they do it. But yeah, so it's like a nicer Hot Toy, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
like
a little
more
more
premium.
expensive. Yeah, a little more premium. That's the word I was looking for. It's a little more premium of a figure than their mainline stuff. So they announced a few weeks back that they were going to be doing the Joker from The Dark Knight, and also Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith. Both popular characters, both of which are often made figures that do very well. So the first one to go up was in fact the Joker, and he went up yesterday at 9 a.m. Pacific, and this was a really exciting thing because they've never done a Joker with like rooted hair. They've done the Joker like 10 years ago. It's actually like one of their earlier Hot Toys.
Yeah.
But they hadn't done it like since then. And back then I was just like seeing the pictures and like dreaming about one day having like a Hot Toy. But yeah, it's a rabbit hole.
I know that.
Anyway,
I know that feeling.
Yeah, so this Joker, what was really cool about this Joker? I mean, not only does he look amazing, but they actually released it alongside a collector edition. And so if you couldn't get in on the artisan version, the backup was the collector edition. You save money on it. It looks almost just as good. It just has the sculpted hair instead of the plastic. Some slight details in the deca are different. Some slight tailoring things are different. But yeah, so people were excited about both of these figures. And I came into trying to get Joker because I have the Dark Knight figures from Hot Toys, and I didn't have the Joker. But I was thinking like, well, if I don't get the artisan, then, I'll be happy getting the regular edition. But, I tried my hand at it. I went on yesterday at the time they said, and it was fairly easy within like 5 to 10. I think within 10 minutes I was done. I got the figure checked out and all that. It was pretty painless.
Sorry, you got the
Um,
artisan or the collector?
I went with the artisan because I was able to.
Hey,
Like had
congrats.
I not been able to, fine, I would have gone normal because it looks almost just as good. But like I wanted to try and get it, and I did. I lucked out, and I was like, okay, awesome. And I think this one was limited edition to 4,000. I don't know if that's worldwide or how they figured that number, but it's a great looking figure. I'm excited for it, and it doesn't come out till next year. But
Mhm.
you basically secure your pre-order, and that means you're
Payment
guaranteed.
plan.
And the payment, of course, I always do the payment plans
Heck yeah.
on these. Okay, so that was really cool. I was really happy. A lot of people were happy. Pretty much anybody I talked to that wanted the Joker artisan was able to get it, and they were pretty content with that. Now today's that went up was the Anakin Skywalker figure. This one was a completely different story.
It
Um,
looks so good. I Googled it when my friend told me that he was queuing up for it, and
yeah,
like the image that was looking back at me, I had chills. I had chills. What's the price difference actually? I didn't get a chance to see between like the Joker collector and the artisan.
the artisan was for, I want to say, I had to whisper so my husband doesn't hear me. Um, it was okay. So 515 for the artisan and 365 for the collector edition.
Okay.
So quite a bit of a difference. And like I said, if you didn't get the artisan, then the regular edition looks almost just as good to me.
Hmm.
Anakin's a different story because Anakin doesn't have a regular edition counterpart that was released at the same time like Joker was.
Right.
So if you missed out on the Anakin that was released, I think in 2017, 2018, I don't even remember. If you don't have that figure, then this was your only real opportunity to get an Anakin right as of right now. And it's the same thing. It's got, premium, like the hair, it's got the tailoring has been updated, brand new head sculpt with the movable eyes. So a lot of people were excited about this. I think this one was limited to 3,100 was the edition size. Um, and contrary to Joker yesterday, today's experience was completely different. Like I really wanted to get this. I do have the previous Anakin, which, I'm happy to have, but this one just dials it up to a whole other level.
Yeah.
And, Anakin slash Vader is my favorite character. So I was really, 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 really hoping to get Anakin. But I went in, I tried the same thing I did yesterday. I went in at the time they said 9 o'clock, and I went into the site, and they put you in like a queue, and it says there's this many people ahead of you. This is your estimated wait time. It's like, okay. But then, unlike yesterday, today also said after that, like, oh, we're not going to start until 9:15. So it's like, all right, it's delayed. But it also had a message saying that it was random. So it's like, okay, well, how does that work? How is it
Yeah.
random? But then there's also a queue that tells you what your wait time is. Like, to me, that didn't really make a whole lot of sense. And yeah, so Joker, I think, was gone within 30 minutes yesterday. Anakin lasted about 12 minutes today.
Oh wow.
And again, I think part of it was that they didn't have an alternate version available at the same time. So it was kind of like you get this or you don't get any Anakin. So I think that was part of it. I also think that the edition size, it was a little bit smaller than Joker. This one was 3,100. Joker, I believe, was 4,000. Was a factor.
Hmm.
And then also, the popularity that this character has attained in the last 10 years is just it would have been unbelievable, during the prequel era. So there was a lot of factors at play, but I think the frustrating thing was that it was just very hard. The process was difficult. It was frustrating, and uh, a lot of people that wanted it, most people that wanted it, obviously didn't get it, but some people did. I was able to get on the wait list ultimately, which it's not a guarantee you're going to get one. It just means that if somebody cancels, then if you're on the wait list, you have a better chance of getting that.
Right.
But I don't know like what order they go in. I don't know if it's like if you go on the wait list first, do you get priority, or does it random like that? I don't know. I have had waitlisted items on Sideshow's site, like work out for me in the past. Not very many of them, but I have had it happen a couple times. Um, but yeah, this thing was awesome, and I'm really 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 bummed it didn't work out. This one was 410, so you know, $100 less than the Joker, had less accessories and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, some people were able to get it, and I'm happy for them, but I'm so bummed out I could not get it.
Yeah, I saw it today. I mean, look at some of these other photos. Yeah, that is crazy. I like if you thought Hot Toys looked realistic before, and you're like, there's no way it gets better than this. And then they're able to do hair now,
Yeah.
um, to make it look so realistic at this scale. It's such a great advancement in the technology, and also scary because I don't need that. I don't think I need that. He looks good, but like, look at the texture on the skin.
I know.
And oh my god, okay, I need this.
Yeah, they're definitely getting better. I mean, they've always done great work. I think their first stuff of theirs I saw like in 2008 or 2009, like a long time ago. And even
Mhm.
back then I was like, wow, this stuff is like next level. This is a little bit more than my Hasbro figure. But yeah, they've gone progressively better, but yeah, it's like some of the stuff they're doing now is just pretty darn incredible.
Yep, I hear that. I follow I think like the main sculptor on Instagram, and when they announce new stuff, he'll show like some of the stuff he's working on in
Yeah.
hand. It's really great work. So I think for the money, like they're great display pieces.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely are. Paul says that he got on the wait list. So cool. Is the wait list
Nice.
still? I don't even know the wait list is still.
It says
Yeah,
join
the wait
waitlist
list
at
is
the
still
top.
open. It looks
Yeah.
like. Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Yeah, the wait list is still open. But yeah, I got on the wait list. I'm really hoping, and you know, part of what was kind of frustrating was that on the queue it said something like there's 30 people ahead of you, you have 1 minute to wait, and in that time it sold out, so I was like so close to getting it, so I
Oh
was
man.
especially bummed out because I was that close.
Oh no.
But yeah, at one point there were like 3,000 people ahead of other people that I saw like posting their screenshots. Like I was like,
Hmm.
that's rough. There's obviously more people were trying for this than they had available. But it's cool because Paul says that he got waitlist. Mary says that she actually got Anakin. That's awesome. Congrats,
Hey,
Mary.
congrats.
That's awesome. Well deserved. Um, yeah, very cool. Very cool. Um, hoping for a dark side release. Yeah, I hope so too. They did that with the last Anakin, and the dark side one was an SDCC exclusive, and yeah, it was I didn't get that one, but it was a nice release as well. It's definitely nice as well. He lasted longer than most. um,
Kayla.
Hasbro can totally do real hair on 3 3/4 inch. Step up your game. Yeah, I don't know if it looked like a Q-tip or something. I don't know if I'd want to see that.
Yeah, I think at this size, it seems to work at the 1/6 scale. I'm just
Yeah,
thinking if I get this, then I need some sort of Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan to go with it because you can't just have one, right? And I don't know. I don't know if I have space. I don't know what to do. This is quite a commitment. It's like buying Ninja Turtles. You can't just buy one turtle. You need the whole
no,
team or one Power Ranger.
or
So
one
if you buy this,
Ghostbuster. Yeah,
yeah, you need Obi-Wan, and then they're gonna make, I don't know, Padme or something to
yeah,
try and get me. So we'll see. I have the Alec Guinness Hot Toys uh Kenobi, and I have the Sideshow Mythos Kenobi. That's like the blend of
yeah.
like that in between stage that they kind of based the TV show Kenobi on the
Mhm.
look at the end. So I don't know. I don't think I need more.
Yeah, that Ben Kenobi one is amazing. I don't have it, but yeah, it's an amazing looking figure.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first Hot Toys for me. It's like it has to be a character I really, really like. Um, and there's just no other comparable versions of it that look good enough. So it's like that 89 Batman are the ones that I would shell out the money for to get
Yeah,
to get a Hot Toys version.
makes sense. You're more disciplined than I am.
For now.
For, for now, anything always in motion is the future.
Yeah.
Um, Peak Obi-Wan, Miss Peak Obi-Wan told me I need to stick to 3 3/4 inch, but these are beautiful. Yeah, that
So you're
is
saying
cool.
there's a chance.
What if she changes her mind? You never know. Riley Bob, good to see you. Hot Toys Anakin can't hurt you. Sexy real life Hot Toys Anakin. Rick, how's it going? Good to see you, Rick. I've been collecting the Sideshow and Hot Toys 1/6 for a very long time. I've never missed a figure pre-order until today. I'm so frustrated they are leaving lots of money on the table. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, this one hurt because, like I said, the process wasn't as easy as yesterday. Was the edition size was smaller, and there's no backup for the figures. Had they offered like an Anakin non-artisan alongside this that had, just as good of a looking head sculpt, the new tailoring and all that, I would have been okay with that. But
Mhm.
they didn't, so it's like, well, what's next? Hopefully they know. I mean, it's not too late. They could still, I'm sure they'll do another Anakin Revenge of the Sith at some point, right? But it's just kind of annoying that it's, that they didn't make this a little bit more available than they did. So yeah, I mean, I feel that they definitely would sell a lot more than had they made it a little less limited, or even did like an open order, like we're talking about Haslab earlier, same thing. Even with like Hot Toys pre-orders are usually like a year in advance, sometimes longer. So I mean, there's really no harm, I don't think, in doing like an open order,
Right.
other than, just wanting to have that exclusivity aspect of it. And I think that's kind of what they were going for, was trying to keep it more of a premium exclusive thing that not everybody was going to be able to get, unfortunately.
So I was looking into autographs for Hayden Christensen next week. So an 8x10 autograph, like an autograph on an 8x10, not like an 8-inch autograph. 180 Canadian dollars, which is like 120 US, I think. And then if you wanted to bring an action figure or something, it's 230. So an extra $50 to bring your own toy. So if I were to order vintage collection Anakin off Amazon for next week, it's like $230. Maybe I'll just spend my money on that and
Yeah,
get an
that's
autograph.
damn.
It's a lot of money even for that. So, these companies gotta realize we only have a finite amount of money. They're really vying for our income there.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's definitely so. But yeah, it's like, wow. I didn't think it'd be that much. So that's pretty crazy.
Maybe it's his, I don't know, maybe it's his Canadian fee to come home, and that's but yeah, it's a lot. I'm still debating for next week. Still some time.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it all works out, and yeah, I'm sure something will turn up with that.
Definitely.
So yeah, that was the Hot Toys stuff for this week. So, very interesting. They're trying new things, which is cool. But I'm not a huge fan of the limited aspect of it. I think, you know, more people obviously wanted this stuff, just make it a little more available, you'd make more money. But, obviously, like we were
Mhm.
saying earlier, there's other factors that we're not privy to that could play a part in all this.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like doing a character like a head sculpt with rooted hair takes longer. Maybe like I don't know if a machine can do it or it's like done by hand, so they have a limited
Yeah.
quantity. I don't know enough about because we talk about Black Series and Marvel Legends. That's like they're just using plastic and all that stuff. How long they sometimes mold things in the color that it should be, or if you add more paint deco, it's going to cost a little bit more if it's done by hand or whatever. So who knows? Maybe it's the hair treatment.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. From what I understand, they do have to like hand glue the hair on there
Okay, there
somehow.
you go.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a wig kind of thing that they put on there and then glue, or if it's like just hairs that they use with like tweezers that they're just putting. I have no idea, but that's what I was told, was that it is like they're it's done by hand somehow.
Yeah. So, done by hand takes more time. That means more money into the manufacture of it. But hey, if you got it, good for you. It looks incredible. It's like having him in your room. Small version of Anakin in your room.
Yes, yes, probably the best you can get and the closest you can get to having the actual thing. So. Customs for the kid, how's it going? Love the look of Hot Toys, but our 3 3/4 inch collection is too big to share space with any other collections. Yeah, no, it's definitely a balance, especially when you collect multiple lines. Like I know that very well. That, it's kind of
Guilty.
like, what can you do? What can you do? Um, yeah. So definitely a pre-order would, like an open pre-order would have been preferable. All right. Anyhow, let's see what else we got. It's a brand new uh look at stuff from this week. So, am I missing anything, Kevin? Is there any other Star Wars stuff that was announced or put up for pre-order this week that I missed?
Star Wars stuff. No, I don't. I think that's the main stuff. The Hot Toys one. You kind of brought it up. I tend to not focus on things that I'm not buying because there is that much out there that I only have so much attention to what I should buy and what I need to prepare for. So I think that's what's on my radar. I had a question though. Did you order that Jabba's Palace set? The vintage collection one?
Yes, I
How
did.
how long has that been? Over,
Uh,
it's got to be over a year, right?
no, this was like probably less than 2 months for TVC, right?
Yeah, the Jabba's set with all
Oh,
the
the play set. Yeah.
yeah, the
I'm glad
whole
you brought that up. Yeah, that has been a year.
yeah.
I actually do want to show something about that.
Was that during Book of Boba Fett when it went up for
It
order?
was right after. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because they had it with Boba Fett there and the throne.
Yeah,
That's right.
and it was supposed to be the
Oh, there you go.
Haslab, but it ended up not being the Haslab. So it
Hmm.
was, and there's, some people found also photos of like from Australia that said like, this is the window to back the item. So it was supposed to be a Haslab, and it wasn't. But yeah, it's been a long time. It's been almost a year and a half. But it just came out that the new ship date is September 15th. It was supposed to start shipping this month. But this is smart. This was wise on Hasbro's part to do because, like I pre-ordered this and do what I wanted to gotten hit like right before the Ghost was going to charge. Like, nope, definitely
Hmm.
not. And that would just hurt the Ghost because then people would get charged for this and they'd be like, oh, well, no, I can't buy the Ghost because this just processed.
Yeah.
So it was wise of them to push that back. And I know it is out in certain parts of the world already. Bosk's Bounty already did a review on this set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I did pre-order it. I am looking forward to it. I already know where it's going to go on the shelf. I already know it's going to fit on the shelf because I measured it like back when I pre-ordered it. But yeah, it's still kind of a little bit of a because the HasLab closes on the 6th, I believe, and then this processes on the 15th. So that's only like a week difference. So I'm
Hmm.
I'm still a little bit nervous about that.
This one was only 200 though, right? Or was
Um,
I think it was a little bit cheaper.
it was yeah, I think it was 200. It was less expensive than the definitely less expensive than the Ghost.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's just kind of like 500 for the Ghost, and then 200 for this is like 700 within a week with both of these processing within short time from each other.
Yeah, but it looks like such a good display piece. You can just have aliens, any TVC aliens you buy, just throw them in there. They're just populating the space, and then if there's toy photographers out there, they can use it for a
Mhm.
whole bunch of stuff. Just
Oh yeah,
really make use of all the different sections. So it's a good looking set. It's funny. I didn't. It's good that we brought it up. I didn't expect my question to actually add any value to something that we could be talking about. But hey, there we go. That is a lot to have, kind of charge back to back.
yeah, it is for sure. But what can you do? All we do is collect this stuff, right? We don't decide anything beyond it. We just decide whether or not we want to buy it. Um, yeah. Customs for the kid says 353 until Ezra. Okay, so we inch closer to it? I forgot what number we were at earlier, but maybe us talking about it pushed somebody over the edge and they went
Yeah,
and
we did
pre-ordered
that.
it.
That was all us.
Yes.
It was
You're,
definitely all us.
you're welcome, Hasbro. We'll take our raise
You're
any
welcome.
day now.
What about the N1 Starfighter? vintage collection one.
Shoot, that is already, I think, arriving into the US. But it's originally it was December 2023. But it's probably going to be sooner. It's probably going to be like late September, October, I imagine, when it starts to process. So
Hmm.
just around the corner.
That thing looks sweet also.
It does. I'm excited for that. Yeah, man.
That's
I'm Yeah, so like TVC, yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening with it right now. There's a lot of things that we can collect. There's a lot of things that you can ignore. Kind of hard to do when you're in it like for the long run. But
hmm.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this product, like honestly, like the quality that they're doing, like has never been done before by Hasbro. You know, they've never done. There's never been, I don't think, a 3 1/4 inch line that's been done at the quality that TVC is being done at right now. Um,
Do
it,
you do you have a rule for TVC, or are you completionist? Like every different branch of Star Wars.
I was a completist or completionist up until this year. I'll tell you what I skipped. I skipped the Book of Boba Fett Slave One
Okay.
because it's a slight repaint of the one from 2020,
Hmm.
and the figure that came with it is going to be released on an individual card. So it was like, well, do I need another slave one? Because I don't do I used to do like for TVC, you know, I collect the figures carded and loose. I used to do that with the vehicles and some of the other stuff, but like I haven't done that for a while. But now it's like with this, it's like, yeah, it's just a minor redeco. And as much as it would be fun to have and put it next to the OT slave one, just like look at them side by side and compare it. Like, you know, I'd love to do that, but yeah, for 200, I think, you know, it was kind of one of those things that I was able to kind of relax my stringency with this line and just let that
Ooh.
one go. So
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't get that one.
If you have like most components of it, or you already have like the main part of it, it's hard to say. Unless you have the space and the money, then by all means, that would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and some people do. And yeah, have at it. um yeah, so that's the only thing. But other than that, I do pretty much buy everything with TVC. I mean, it when it came back in 2018, it was a big deal because the direction Hasbro had taken, if you remember, it was like they kind of went into they shifted their attention for the collector segment like to the Black Series,
Hmm.
and then TVC kind of just was like 3 3/4 inch Black Series at Walmart, and they were just in the little boxes like miniature Black Series boxes, and
Right.
most of the 3 3/4 went to like 5 POA, and so you know there were some rough years in there, you know, post 2013, you know, up until TVC was announced again. So it was a big deal when it was announced. So I'm glad that, you know, that was 2018. Now we're 2023. So it's all these years, you know, it's been something that they're still doing, right? People are still invested in it and doing shows on and talking about it online and all that. So it's still a big deal.
Yeah, that scale
So
that scale's not going to go anywhere.
yeah, yeah.
Especially when it seems like they can be more creative with it, because you can do these playsets, you can do the vehicles that, it seems unlikely for a Black Series, especially now when things are more expensive. Like if you think about uh Ray's speeder, or Luke's speeder, First Order TIE fighter that they had in Black Series, it's like you can't get that stuff again, especially at that price. It's the team seems more creative putting it into
Mm.
TVC, like the energy and the variety to put it into that scale. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm gonna try and shift over. I had a rule myself. It was supposed to be just uh Filoni verse stuff, so like Mando, um, actual Mandalorians from the show, things like that. But then, you need stormtroopers, right? Stormtroopers can go in there. Different types of stormtroopers from the gaming series. Then I want Cal Kestis,
Yeah,
and it's slowly just branching out.
for sure. Um, yeah, no, I hear you there. It's hard. I mean, when the product is there and when the quality is good, you know, it's like, you know, the way I always look at it is, collecting is expensive, and if you're in a position to be able to do it and enjoy it and have fun, then do it. Like,
Hmm.
life's too short to not do it. Um, but yeah, we all have to make tough decisions sometimes still. So, like that slave one, had to let it go. But yeah.
How did you feel afterwards, though? Did you feel like you've made progress? You're like, oh wow, what was this feeling? I don't have to buy all of it. Did it change? Did it
It,
change?
it
Did you
was,
feel more relieved?
I did. I felt a little bit of a mix. I felt a little bit like, oh, I'm skipping a TVC product. And then I was like, oh, I'm skipping a TVC product. Like, it was a little both. Like, I did feel a little relieved to be saving that money, but also to just kind of realize, like, hey, don't need to collect it all. It'd be nice
Hmm.
to, but I don't have to do it. So yeah, and maybe that'll happen again. I don't know, but you know, I I'm not like, I love TVC, and obviously that's a lot of my focus, but I still think there's a place for Black Series. I still collect Black Series. I don't collect as much as I used to,
Yep.
but I still enjoy buying Black Series because they are doing some really cool stuff that isn't always possible in 3 3/4. Just like you were saying, the world building aspect isn't always possible in Black Series. Like, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
So I've loved a lot of what they've recently done with like the Knights of the Republic figures, and focusing more on like Clone Wars, like that thing. Like, those are the figures I really like.
Yeah. I'm trying not to double dip the same characters, but it's tough. It is tough.
Yeah, it is tough, but again, you sound more disciplined than I am, so I give you credit for that.
I'm because I'm the kind of person where I have to be pushed to a certain limit before I can make those tough decisions. So I'm really, really running out of space down here in the toy room. So I'm like, I got to make some changes. Be more disciplined with what I buy. Start selling stuff that's just sitting there, um, and just if I want to buy more toys, enjoy new stuff.
Yeah.
I had to make a change. This is what normal people talk about, like, oh, I had to make a change with my diet. I gotta eat healthier and cut out this and that. I'm like, nah, I just need to buy less toys. That's my life change right now.
Yeah, I hear you there. In fact, I even created like an Instagram account so that I could like downsize my stuff, and I haven't even listed anything
Oh
because
no.
I know part of it's I've been busy and I've had things going on, but I need to do it. It's just hard once you sit there and you start going through things. You're like, what can I get rid of? What do I need to keep? It's like, well, unfortunately, I remember everything. I remember like when I got this figure. I remember where I was at. I remember what was going on in my life. Can I let it go? I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, I could, but then I feel like I'm giving a little part of like my experiences with it.
That's
Um,
true.
but
That is
yeah,
true.
I need to work on that because like the Ghost is coming, and I have other things on pre-order, so it's like you gotta it's gotta be manageable at the same time.
It's like we need like a therapist to help us work through these mental
Yes.
blocks, right? It's kind of like, hey, first world problems, but that's what we're talking about. We're just talking about collecting. It's not uh an essential of life, but we do get presented with these things that it's different obstacles for everybody.
I mean, you would think there's like Alcoholics Anonymous. There's like different things that there's like counseling for, right? Like,
Mhm.
you can go and talk to like your pastor or whatnot. So it's like, why isn't there like a toy guidance counselor, or like a toy collector's therapy? Like, maybe that'll be a thing one day.
I mean, that's a show right there.
That
Collect
is a show.
write that one down. Nobody take that. We're gonna do it. Collectors
Gonna trademark
Anonymous.
it. Does anybody want to be our toy therapist? Anybody in here? Let us know. Let us know if you want to
Anyone
counsel us.
qualified?
Yes, you got to be qualified. I don't know what that entails. Does that mean you're a collector, but you're also a therapist, so you know how it works? Like, I don't know.
Actually, I think there is a profession for this. It's just called an accountant. Just an accountant. Or my wife.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Just need two of those at your side, and we'll write that ship. Get that collection slimmed down to a manageable
Nice.
size. Yeah, I mean, it's gotten to a point where I wanted to sell so much. I made an event last week. Uh, it's a toy tailgate. I just want to get local collectors together to sell stuff, whatever you need to slim down from your collection. Um, that's what it took to be like, hey, I'll just do this myself. I don't want to go pay for a, you know, $100 for a table at a toy show or something like that. I'm like, let's just try to do this together. So, just trying to find different ways
Yeah, that's cool.
to get rid of stuff.
That is cool. I thought about doing like things like that, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what I do. I don't know yet, but we'll figure something out. Got to
Yeah.
downsize a little bit though. It's called being an adult.
Oh my goodness. I don't want to do that.
All right, so I want to make another run through the comments here. Customs for the kid. This is the first year I wasn't a completionist, 15 years. Okay, well, good for you too. You also seem a little more, have more self-control than I tend to have.
Do we need a coin? Like, they have in the AA meetings too? However many months sober.
I made it this month this long without buying a toy.
Without being a completionist? And not to mock those people. It's just how
No,
silly,
right, yeah, yeah.
silly our stuff is.
I've gone 1 week without buying a toy.
That's not even an accomplishment. It's just like lack of time.
What about pre-orders? Do pre-orders count?
Oh, we're getting into loopholes. Pre-orders. So I would do like challenges to myself before, no purchases in a month. If it's and for me it was money going out. Like, you can pre-order something, but if it's pay later, you're good. If you pre-ordered it in the past and you've paid for it and it arrives in that month, you're good. If you pre-ordered it before but it charges that month and that's money going out, no, you have to let that one go. So I made a joke. I'm like, I'm not following generally accepted accounting principles. Again, it's just accounting stuff. It's just how you that's what you need to manage your collection. Paul knows. See, loopholes.
Yeah, we like loopholes. No, that sounds good, but I feel like if I tried that, I would end up like the month that I could buy stuff again, like I'd probably buy double. Is would probably happen.
I've got all this extra money. This is all
How did this
profit.
happen?
It's all profit.
Yeah, the life of a toy collector. Pico B1, I don't blame you. I skipped both of those shops, so that I still need one with that cool stand. I love how there's conversations going on in here. I'm not even aware of what's being talked about, but there's conversation. That's always fun.
Yes, that's the
Patience, wait for the TVC version. Okay, we'll wait for the TVC version.
That's a t-shirt right there. Patience, wait for TVC.
That is a t-shirt. Let's trademark that one as well. It's here in the comments, so it counts. We can trademark it. Pick and choose Black Series, yet I pick more than I think. My name is Pawn. I'm a toyaholic. Nice. Acrocanthosaurus. I don't like you. Just watch yourselves. I have the death sentence on 12 podcasts. Aww. Aww.
Nice.
I have a feeling this is a Jurassic Park possibly collector, and I haven't talked about Jurassic Park tonight, so yeah. No news for Jurassic Park this week. Sorry about that.
Did you get that Steven Spielberg exclusive?
I did. I bought it at Comic-Con.
Oh, did you? Like, how long did you have to wait in line? I felt like it sold out so fast every day, and I ordered it after the convention online. And no movement.
Let's see. When did I get it? I got it on the Friday. And I didn't wait long in line at all. They had like a secondary line, like an overflow line.
Mm-hmm.
And once the regular line was like fairly clear, they would send the overflow line. And I got in. I was the first person in the overflow line just because they had just went into the main line. And it probably took like 10 minutes total, like to get in there and buy the figure.
Very lucky. It's cool looking set.
It is. What time did I go in there? It was probably like 1 o'clock or so. It was already like 12:30 because it was before the Hasbro panel. It's probably like 12:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
you ordered it.
That's right. Yeah, I was waiting for the Marvel Legends panel, and somebody was like, hey, they're just letting anybody go in line right now. And I had to make a decision, go to the bathroom first before the panel or go get Steven Spielberg. And I chose the worst option of the two. I went to the washroom first. clearly I should have just gone in my pants and grabbed the toy and sit through the Marvel Legends panel and the Star Wars panel afterwards. Again, first time at Comic-Con, should have known.
I
Wear
mean,
a
you've
diaper.
seen Jurassic Park, right? You know what happens when people sit on toilets.
That's true. Yep. What a rookie move right there.
There's always next time.
I know. I'll tell my wife for next time. That's what's happening.
Have her go to the bathroom for you, then you get in line.
No, just adult diapers.
There you go. Or that.
It's a convention. There are smells that wouldn't be acceptable in any other venue. So we'll just hope it's not noticeable.
Right on. With that, we'll drop that topic. All right. So so we're getting to the end here. I just want to, if there's any last questions or comments that we have that you guys want to ask Kevin or anything you want to note, let us know right now and we will answer your question. While we wait for that, I just want to share one more thing. So I put this up today on the TVC podcast Instagram. So the Vintage Collection podcast, if anyone's unaware, is one of my shows. I haven't done anything with it this year. We've done 2 seasons of it, 10 episodes per season. And it just covers all kinds of vintage collection topics. Latest news, Haslab, wish lists, just all kinds of stuff, all kinds of topics. We did one interviewing Angela Staines, who was one of the Tonica sisters in the original Star Wars, and talking about why her figure hasn't been made, all that stuff. So this is one of those shows. This is one of those podcasts. So I put this up here today that season 3 is going to begin next month, and this is going to be the final season of that show. And I had some people asking, why is it the final season of the show? It's like, well, as much as I enjoy doing that show, the Vintage Collection podcast, I do a lot of things, right? I have the live stream going. I have the Cantina Chatter podcast going. I have the Discoveryland podcast going. So this is going to be the last season of this show. There's also other TVC podcasts that are exceptional as well. So there'll be plenty of content out there. This will be the final season for the TVC podcast, and it will be starting in September. And it'll actually be about the ghosts. It'll be about the Haslab. So we'll be talking about that in the first episode. So if you've missed any of those episodes, they're all anywhere you get podcasts, all those places, Amazon Music, Spotify, you name it, it's on there. So definitely check it out if you haven't already, as we gear up for the final season of the TVC podcast next month. Another 10 episodes. And I think that'll be a good time to wrap that up. It's been fun, but can't do everything forever, I guess.
That's a lot of stuff. That's actually really cool. All the different ventures you're into. So, you got to pick and choose, just like the toy lines that you collect.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about balance, right?
Yep.
Right. Everything in balance. Bring balance to the force of your collection by buying more stuff. Latoya, how's it going? Good to see you with us this evening. So many things to collect, and so little time. But we're kind of gearing up to that time of year where pre-orders start processing, right? The Ghost. We talked about Jabba's Palace playset. We've talked about the N1 Starfighter. There's more figures coming from both scales. Then there's all the Hot Toy stuff too. So we've covered some pretty good ground here. Did we miss anything? Kevin, did we miss anything?
I think we covered like the heavy hitters, the main topics, right?
Yeah, and we talked about Ahsoka as well. So yeah. All right. So a couple questions here. So is there a possibility of LC retrospective? Yes. Okay. So that's for the Cantina Chatter podcast. So yes, there will be this is a series, Kevin, that I've been doing since 2017, I want to say. It's called the Hasbro Modern Toy Line Retrospective, and it covers every single line from Power of the Force 2 in 1995 up until the present day. But it's a very, very, very time intensive process to do those episodes, because there's a lot of research. There's a lot of bringing out the old toys and looking at that line and finding a guest and collaborating, about talking about our top picks and talking about, memories and stuff. So there will be a legacy collection retrospective, but it probably won't be until next year. But it will be. It is something that I'm definitely going to finish that series. We did the most recent part in this series this year. It was in February, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 3-parter because the 30th anniversary collection that Hasbro did was big line. So it was a 3-parter. But yeah, we will be doing the Legacy collection followed by Legacy collection without the because that wasn't part of the line's name the following year for whatever reason. So it's 2 separate lines. Jay says, Kevin, thank you for being so cool and for bringing up good questions and topics. We should have you on again. I agree.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to do it. Thank you. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice for you to say that, Jay. JJ.
JJ. I wonder if his last name is J. Maybe J is his middle name, so it's JJJ.
Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson.
Could be. You never know. As long as he doesn't start trying to say that we're doing bad stuff here and trying to defame us somehow or another. But yeah, follow up here. Anyone considering on modifying or painting your N1? I see some of it was lackluster, especially in the bottom. Not me. I don't usually customize my stuff.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will add on to it because there are customizers out there that do amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Very cool. Kevin, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for coming on to Social Hour this week. It was great having you on for the first time. And yeah, great conversation. Thanks for talking to me about, all our collector isms and all the hard things that collectors have to deal with. And, why we need collector therapy and stuff. But you tell us where, in case anybody here doesn't know, tell us where we can go to look you up on the interwebs.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Toying Around. Same with YouTube, same with Twitch and Threads, whatever all the new stuff is. Or my website is toyingaround.ca because I'm in Canada, and you should be able to find all my stuff from there. I try not to be too obnoxious with sharing my stuff, but that's social media. You post it, and not everyone sees it, and that's just what you have to deal with. So
That's the way it goes.
That's where you can start. Instagram is my main hangout. Thank you.
Awesome. So definitely follow Kevin on Toying Around. We do have links already in the description for his Instagram and YouTube page. So just click on that, and you can access his awesome channel and his Instagram. Yeah. So thanks to everybody in the comments who have been asking questions and hanging out with us this evening and having their own little side conversations and stuff. That's always fun to watch. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. Mary already subbed to you, Kevin. Awesome.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Very cool. Yeah. So yeah, let's do this again. It was fun, and we'd love to have you on again sometime.
Yeah, this time slot works for me, and I hope we can do it again soon, or you come back and open some toys on Unboxing Thursdays. And again, oh yeah, real quick plug on Boba Squadron podcast starts next week. We should be airing Tuesday because of the new airtime for Ahsoka. So we're going to be talking about the show, the breakdown with the squadron. So come check it out if you're free Tuesday.
Nice. Something to look forward to as well, in addition to Ahsoka. So we'll definitely be there. Yeah, thanks everybody. And next week we will have Aries from 6 Scale Cantina on the show. He will be our guest next week, so stay tuned for that. I'm sure we'll be talking about more Hot Toys topics, and we'll look at the Haslab again and see. I'm going to predict it now. We're going to have Ezra by this time next week. I predict we're going to be at.
Let's get Kanan by next week, everybody.
Let's get Kanan by next. Yeah. I'm going to say we're going to be at 11,751. That's I don't know why. That's my guess. That's my guess for the Haslab. So I'm gonna go with that. I don't even remember what number I just said, but I'll go back here and check it.
751.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, we'll check it next week. Thanks everybody, no matter where you're tuning in from out in the galaxy. We appreciate you being here for Cantina Social Hour this Friday night. Be safe, be well, may the force be with you. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.